Hey, Facebook or YouTube. So used to doing Facebook Live videos, guys. Hey, listen, wanted to let you all know that tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be guest on Blog Talk Radio with Healing Light Ministries. We're also on their Roku channel, guys. So they have a Roku channel, Healing Light channel, and so they've got a pretty good channel there that has a compilation of ministers that do miracles, signs, and wonders. And it's a friend of mine named Stan, who I believe I met through Facebook originally. But we're going to be doing that video. Blog Talk Radio in the morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll go ahead and include the link on this the description of this video after I'm done recording here. But Tony and Debbie are going to be with us. Tony and Debbie came to the North Carolina event that Stan hosted. Healing Light channel hosted that event, and he wants us to come on and about that event, our experience with it, recap, and probably as well as some deliverance stuff. But let's see. Other thing too is really neat, and that was actually the reason I was making this video and titled it Surprise, is because when I went up there, it was kind of cool because Dan introduced me to his stepfather, I believe it was, I think he might have introduced me to himself. And he says, "Hey," he says, "you remember me?" And I said, "No, should I?" And he says, "Yeah, a couple years ago you were on Stan's Blog Talk Radio, and Stan had me call in as a guest, and he did not tell me it was a deliverance minister that was going to be on. I guess he's a right." So, definitely, it was so funny. Definitely not used to that type of thing. Not his cup of tea, I would imagine, as a Lutheran. I don't believe most of them participate in the signs and wonders at all. But lo and behold, the gentleman called in, and Stan did not tell him that it was a deliverance guest minister, on that day's show. And I think he might have mentioned some struggles that he had in life. I think I might have asked him, what do you deal with that you would say is not God's portion for you, right? And he was like, maybe this, that, and I was like, awesome, let me pray for you. And I just began to command the devil everywhere he was attached to him to go. And the guy started throwing up on live air, and he's in that. I didn't remember that, actually. He says, he's like, you started praying for me, and he says, you started praying for me, and he's like, I started going through deliverance right on air. And so then Stan pulls me aside, and he's like, "Hey, that's my stepdad. He was on the radio a couple years ago when you were on, and he was the one that went through deliverance." I was like, "Yeah, he just told me." So it was kind of neat. It was a very big surprise for me because I guess I never knew. Or maybe Stan had told me and I forgot. But, I pray for so many people, and I've gone, so many deliverances, guys. It's absolutely unreal if I literally were to have everybody come and say, "Hey, you remember me who I've prayed for?" And I just thank God. I mean, honestly, there's no other reason for me to say that except it is just simply amazing when people and who I've forgotten about, who I don't remember, and they share their testimony or what have you. And so, very, very exciting. Very exciting. In fact, a lady connected to our ministry who is just a tremendous blessing, just told me the other day. She says, "Do you know how I met you?" And I said, "No." She said, "Well," she says, and I won't mention the name. She says, "So and so is a friend of mine and goes to a Baptist church, and her son worked for you in your lawn business several years ago, and she was sharing the story about how her son got help. You know, he came out of addiction and different things like that, and she says, "Wow, who helped him?" And she's like, "Well, obviously Jesus, but there was this minister that he was working for by the name of John George." And she says, "Have you heard of him?" And she says, "No, I haven't." And she says, "Yeah, I guess he's got a deliverance ministry here in this area." And she's like, "Really?" And so she found me on Facebook, I believe, and came to one of our services and has just been on fire ever since, and just has stayed committed, and tremendous blessing, I'll tell you. But, you know, and I had totally forgotten about, you know, that experience, and I didn't forget about that experience for, you know, but I would have never thought that the mother, these years later, was still remembering how the Lord used me in his life. And guys, you experience that as if you're a Christian, and if you're laboring, if you're just sharing the gospel, if you're praying for people, you know, different things like that, and discipling and all that. So there's no piece of the gospel that is unnecessary, right? They are all necessary, and in fact, I don't even know if he necessarily went through deliverance per se. You know, I definitely prayed for him many, many times, shared with him about all the miracles we were seeing. At that time, I was ministering in a lot more healing, actually. There was some deliverance going on, but there was a lot of healing that was taking place, and I was sharing with him testimonies about how people were getting healed every day when I would work with him. And pretty amazing, guys. But anyway, just wanted to share that with you. Hope to catch you online, Blog Talk Radio. I will post the link at the bottom of this video. Bless you guys, and thank you so much for you.